Yeah. You gotta innovate when it comes to the thumbnails.
All right, now we're live on YouTube.
Cool.
Now we're live on YouTube.
Damn, if
Hi,
we could have
babe.
this
I
amount of
love
revenue
you.
every month, we would have
We
a
just
minimum
started our
wage,
stream.
one single minimum wage job split between us worth of money.
Maybe we'll.
That would be great, wouldn't it? Hello, sir.
Hello.
What type of tea you drinking there, big boy?
It's called Vada tea.
All right, you're gonna need to explain this one.
So,
where'd you get it?
It's a little complicated. I told you that I grew up in like this meditation community, right?
No.
I didn't tell you that.
No.
You don't know that? Okay. So.
What are you, a monk?
No, not really.
Oh, but, not really. Okay, cool.
But I grew up in this. I went to school for my entire schooling. The school started by this Indian, like, guru, basically, who came over and taught meditation.
As an Indian, Indian, as in like the country India,
like East Indian, yeah.
Okay, because I know a lot of people say that, and they, Americans say that, and they mean Native Americans.
Not Native American. And so anyway, he started this meditation movement. Taught like the Beatles, and he's taught like a lot of celebrities and stuff like that. And from there they ended up having all sorts of like different stuff, businesses and stuff that were started. And one of them is like it's called an Ayurvedic. Ayurvedic is it's like the traditional East Indian form of medicine, and so they have a lot of products and like supplements and stuff like that. And they also have a tea line, and so Vada is one of those teas, and it's supposed to balance anxiety and like stuff like that.
Where's the studies, man?
It's good shit. It tastes really good.
Okay, sure. That's I can get that. I can fuck with that. If you have a tea that's delicious and you enjoy the process of drinking it, yeah, that's great. All these teas are bullshit, though. They're all medicinal, and
yeah,
they never really are.
I mean, tea is just medicinal anyway, to some extent.
Psychologically medicinal. I feel like with what?
I'm eating some strawberries. They're delicious.
Are they freshly picked strawberries?
No, they're probably from Mexico.
They could be freshly picked from Mexico.
Well, yeah, but they're not fresh anymore, probably.
It's true. They've been on a truck.
Yep. But they're delicious as well.
Barely refrigerated. Jenkins probably drinks Tim Hortons tea. He doesn't know anything. Jesus Christ. Is that what you see me as? That's the type of person that you see in front of you? I am shocked and appalled.
Disappointed?
Absolutely ludicrous. Yes. Disappointed. Did you know, allegedly in Canada, do you know what Tim Hortons is?
It's like your sort of like breakfasty spot, right? It's like a breakfasty restaurant or something.
Kind of. It's
known for like coffee and shit, right?
Yeah, it's surpassed that. It's bigger than McDonald's here. Like, okay. you can literally walk anywhere in Canada and just every block there's a Tim Hortons on it. And I kid you not, like I can walk up the street that way and there's a Tim Hortons, or walk down the street that way and there's a Tim Hortons. Because it's that popular. It's like a fucking Goliath. But their coffee has started, sucking mega ass in the past. They were very well known for their coffee, and it just started sucking mega ass. And apparently what happened is McDonald's moved into Canada, I don't know, some years ago, and they started to try to get into the coffee game as well. I don't know if they have that there in America. Like, they have the McCafe, they have that sort of thing. In Canada, apparently they bought the contracts for the coffee that Tim Hortons used to own. So just now, yeah, exactly. Well, I guess overcut them in that situation.
Yeah.
But so now everybody shits on Tim Hortons coffee, and there's this big argument between like McCafe and Tim Hortons, and nobody knows that the McDonald's coffee is literally just the old
Tim Horton coffee.
The old Tim Hortons coffee that everybody loved. And then you still have these people that are just like, nah, dude, gotta go with Timmy's, man. It's the Canadian brand. It's the classic coffee. They know what they're doing. It's literally the old coffee. You just go to McDonald's. It's the old Tim Hortons coffee. Yeah, I just saw a thumbs down appear on the video.
On this video?
Yeah, when I was talking about probably my pronunciation of McAfee. People don't like that. Starbucks. Fucking donuts. Starbucks fucking thumbs down our video. Whatever. Dude, I had a guy in a pub the other day when I was streaming, and he was just shitting all over Dota Alchemy. And I thought he was joking at first, but he wasn't. He was just some like Divine 1 guy, right? I was queuing at like 5 a.m. because I was, going full binge degenerate mode. And I would never queue into this guy, and he really like relished the opportunity to shit all over me. It's like, your fucking thumbnails piss me off, and when I watch you, it's like, how people watch The Room and they're a fan of The Room, but ironically, that's what I am to you. And it's just like, dude, what the fuck, man? Whatever is making you feel so negative in life, you should go deal with that, man, instead of shitting on some guy on the fucking internet. I picked Brood, and he's like, why would you pick Brood here? It's so bad. And then I proceeded to go literally 17-0 against 3 counters because it was a Divine game. And you take any Immortal player that's not boosted and put them in a Divine game, they're going to go 17-0 if they're not losing their fucking mind. Yep. That's just how Dota is. Yep. If you don't think it's like that, you're totally misunderstanding how things scale like exponentially in the ranks. People in top 100 could just crush like a top 1,000 game easily, and there's the brackets.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It was yeah. I got eggs on Brood. Somebody asked if I got eggs. It was nuts though. Like this guy was obsessed, man. Like this guy was I had this other dude on my team, and he knew who I was too. He's like, oh man, I just saw you play with BSJ. I was watching BSJ stream. It's like, oh cool, this guy's being nice to me, knows who I am, but he's being nice to me. And then he was like, oh, this guy's a stan. He's probably going and praying to a shrine of you in his room. It's like, you know what? I don't know, man. I would rather somebody like that not know that I exist. I can't take the negativity. I'm so fucking weak-minded.
Yeah.
Like, it actually still, it was insane.
It's obviously still bothering you.
Yeah, it was insane how he's like this Divine 1 player where I would never, ever queue into him if I wasn't queuing at 5 a.m. because that is just, nobody's playing at that point. So it's like, fuck it, I guess I'll throw a bunch of Immortal players in Divine games. And I don't know, it was shit, man. I actually was getting kind of upset just because it's like, what did I do to this person to make them fucking hate me? But I know that it's a problem with this guy, right? Like, I know it's not a me thing. I know this guy's actually got some negativity in life, and the way he takes it out is on some fucking YouTuber that he sees. There's a story behind it. You know what I mean? It's not just random. This guy's got some serious deep-seated issues. It still fucking bothers me, though. It still bothers me.
Yeah. Whack, man. It's just whack when people go out of their way just to let you know they don't like you.
It was so extreme. It was so extreme. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was joking. Let me tell you. I don't know if you have this, but this has been a thing that I have experienced, and I know other people have experienced. Like, if you play pro at all and you're kind of like in the limelight a little bit, right? We have our little micro bubble here that we're in the Dota sphere, and sometimes you queue in a pub so people know who you are,
right?
You're not going to go to the fucking grocery store. It's like, oh my god, Dota Alchemy Jenkins. That doesn't happen. But
it might eventually.
I really love when people are like, oh man, I watch your content, some like random shit like that. It's like, fuck, man, that makes my day, right?
Yeah.
But you have these people that feel like they already know you because they see your personality through the computer screen, and you don't know them. And because they act with their friends in a certain, like, they'll fuck with their friends, you know what I mean? Where it's, hey, you fucking piece of shit, nice videos, queer boy, some shit like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, man, if you were my friend and I knew you, it's like, that banter's fine. But coming from, when your first impression is banter, that's when you think somebody is an asshole. have you experienced that? It's this weird thing. It's this really weird thing where it's like they know you to some degree, but you don't know them. So that initial wall is down for them, but not for you. So they banter with you.
Yeah.
And then it's like, man, I don't know you at all yet. I'm not comfortable with fucking bantering with you. Like you're just making fun of me. I can't tell where this is coming from because I don't know you. It's the internet is fucking weird, man. The internet is weird.
Yeah.
Guys, Alchemy answers or Jenkins and Elevated chatting.
I mean, what's the difference, right?
What is the difference?
Let's get into the questions, though.
Sure.
There were quite a few that were posted in Discord recently.
Yep. All right. Roll the intro there, bro.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Alchemy Answers episode 34. We are going to be taking some questions from our patrons today and possibly some from chat as well, depending on how quickly these go. As always, if you want to ask questions directly to us and have access to our private Discord channels where you can talk to us directly, patreon.com/Dota Alchemy is where that resides. So with that further ado, get into the questions.
Okay. We have King of Hell. He asks, how do I increase my behavior score faster, or at least how do I minimize decreasing it? I never abandon. I try to never flame. That sounds like you flame. I might get tilted and flame a ruiner, but that's pretty much it. But even one report every 5 to 10 games from ruiners still racks up overall and drops your behavior score. So
I'm in the process of making a video about this. I've been documenting my return from very low behavior score, because if you don't know, I'm gonna save a lot of the information for that video to answer this question. But the short stick of it is that every abandon is worth like 50 reports. An abandon is like minus 500 to 1,000 behavior score, possibly even more. So don't fucking abandon ever. Period. as much as it sucks, never get an abandon. As far as reports, I think that you're overrating how much reports actually tank your behavior score. It's not very much. You have to be getting reported consistently, like every game, 1 or 2 reports every game, to have your behavior score go down by a significant amount. I think that reports and commends relatively balance each other out. And as far as increasing it quickly, it's really, from what I've found so far, I mean, a lot of people say just play turbo because it like goes up over time if you're not getting reported, I think. But for me, it's basically just like pick a hero that you're good with and do your fucking job, and like buy wards and just do your job and never chat to your teammates.
That's what I was gonna say.
Never chat. And then commend everybody after the game every single time.
Because you'll get commends back when you do that. You could even commend the enemy team, like commend the winning team, because the winning team, if you ironically commend them when you lost, or they just think that you're saying, hey, good job, winning, you played well, they'll commend you back, and that still counts as commends. Like the team that lost, if you're on it, your team won't want to commend you. Nobody will want to commend. Everybody will be mad. But the winning team, they'll still commend you.
Yeah.
With that being said, you said that you might get tilted and flame a ruiner. This is actually something that I've had to stop doing because of I don't want to lose my mind reasons, and then also because ruiners have accounts as well that have the same weight as regular people that don't ruin games in terms of
they will report you.
So what I've started doing is if there's a game ruiner, I just try to stay low key. And even if somebody initially is focusing in on me as like a scapegoat and they're ruining the game, if you stay low key and you don't poke the bear at all, typically your moron teammates will turn on each other and they'll be the ones reporting each other, and you just stay under the radar. I think that in general is a good way to be when it comes to being social in Dota.
If you want to raise your behavior score, never press your enter key. Basically, is what it comes down to, because the times that I've gotten useful communication from somebody typing anything in text chat is maybe 0. Probably 0. Maybe once or twice with like a Roshan timer. But if
text is kind of useless.
If you're ever opening your chatting function to say anything other than like good game or well played, it's a complete waste of your time, complete waste of everybody else's time. Because the types of communication that needs to happen in Dota are like instantaneous things that are really important to know right that second. And even taking the time to chat that with text is a waste of your time. So,
yep.
You know, basically just like don't communicate or communicate with phrases such as Echo Slam is up in 45 seconds. That's it. Like, just give information.
Be a robot. That's actually the best way to play Dota. Pro players, if you queue into them, they'll appreciate that as well. If you just be a robot about things, like you can socialize outside of Dota. It's a team game. You're trying to win, so nobody who's not an idiot and bad at the game is going to be upset with you for just communicating the minimum possible and just trying to win.
I remember actually, sorry, this is kind of tangential, but I just remember somebody asking, I think it was somebody asking like PPD a question about like how to get noticed in pubs. And he was basically just like, stop trying to impress the pro players that you're playing with. Like, stop over communicating. Like, do not fucking do that. Do not try to make calls. Literally just give tiny little bits of information and then shut the fuck up the rest of the time.
Yeah.
That's literally how Dota communication should be anyway.
Yep. That's why I said stop over communicating, because people usually like freak out and they say a whole lot of garbage nonsense. Newsham always goes ham on me about that when it comes to tier 2, tier 3 North American players. Like, they just say so much jargon when they're playing, and that's fine for casting or for making content. Right. But when it comes to actually being good at the game and communicating things succinctly, it's not good. You can't just be like, oh, we need to go apply map pressure top in the dead lane. It's like, no, you need to just say 2 words. Like, okay, I'm going bot. I'm pressuring bot.
Yep. That's it.
You just do that. And then, 5 minutes later, you say, I'm leaving bot.
And the best part about that,
tower's going to die. Somebody defend bot, like something like that.
The best part about that is that you're just giving people more information to work with and make their own decisions instead of trying to tell them what decisions to make. And that's where you start getting reported. That's where people start muting you, is if you're trying to tell people how to play the game. You just need to give them information to make their own decisions.
Right. And if they make bad decisions, then that's
a data point and you just continue to play the game.
Yeah, that's on them. So Anna Terra says, all right, if someone is going to start playing position 1, with the current meta, what are the 3 best heroes to get practiced with to cover the most matchups? I gotta put a point before this and just say we don't really know what the meta looks like yet.
Yeah,
because it's been less than a week.
That's why I just want to answer this as like the 3 heroes that you should try to play.
In general,
yeah. Juggernaut.
Sure, Jug, Anti-Mage is your kind of like Battle Fury, triangle farming, wins the game at a huge power spike hero. Jug, early game hero, and then I don't know, Slark. Slark's like a ganking, tempo controlling carry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Slark or either like Sven or Ursa. Like probably those 4 heroes are like the best to cover all of your matchups.
Yep. I think Slark is a really good hero right now. His win rate went up by like 5% on Dota buff.
Yeah.
In the previous patch, and I think a lot of the changes definitely favor Slark. All right. Let's Eddie Mercury. My question was skipped on the Alchemy Answers VOD last night. Was that just a mistake or what?
I think he re-asked it.
Probably. Probably. We make a lot of those. Let's see. Questions. King of Hell has a couple of questions. What should I do to survive storm ganks when I'm playing Zeus? Any point in building defensive items, or should I just try not to get ganked? Honestly, Storm is one of the best counter matchups to Zeus because Zeus is so important to just get on in fights. And he's very squishy, has an extremely low strength gain and base strength. It doesn't really build into any tanky items.
Yeah, and Ghost Scepter doesn't counter Storm because he's so much magic damage, so you can't just like rely on that to save you, like you can against PA or something like that.
I would say like Yule's Scepter is pretty good. Glimmer Cape is excellent because it forces him to carry a dust, and Storms don't have slots for dust because you need Bottle, you have Null Talisman, you have Boots, you have Wand. You have a Kaya, like already that's 5 or 6 items.
You could also rush a Hex.
No, God, no way.
Yeah, dude. He zips on you, you hex him, he dies.
You're just rushing at like a 6,000 gold item instead of just getting a Glimmer Cape 4-staff, which is like 4,000. No way you rush a Hex. You'll die so many times in the time that you get the Hex.
All right, whatever, man.
I'm not a fan. How do I increase my behavior score? Oh, we already talked about that. If I'm Pudge position 3 and I get a Weaver in a Tusk against me, what am I supposed to do? Honestly, one of the biggest criticisms that I have of a lot of low-rated pubs is that people allow themselves to be in a shitty laning situation without swapping. Like, if you're in a bad laning situation and you can't do anything, you need to pull the wave, you need to roam, you need to swap lanes with somebody, even if it means literally just going to your safe lane and playing as a support, as an offlaner. I don't give a fuck. If you're going to contribute more by doing that than just feeding a Weaver Tusk, which is, I don't see what Pudge is supposed to do in that lane unless you have a really, really strong support.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you have to pull the wave, otherwise you just feed. You're not going to get any creeps if you play that lane normally. So, I mean, yeah, I was actually going ham on somebody in the Discord because they were saying like, "Oh, I was in such a bad lane and there's nothing I could do. I needed so many items to be able to contest this lane, and I wasn't able to play the lane." I was like, "Dude, why are you trying to play the lane? If it's a bad lane, you fucking leave." Like, very simple.
It is actually simple, and you can watch the highest tier of Dota, and cores will leave lanes at level 4 and literally support their safe lane.
Yeah,
like I saw a team Xolotl, which is the Mexican squad, North American team, that they beat Beast Coast, right? And Beast Coast, obviously, major qualifying team. Unfortunately, anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but they're a good team. Team Xolotl, in my opinion, is not on the same caliber. At least I didn't think before this game that they were on the same caliber as Team Beast Coast. And I saw that they had a Sand King as an offlaner. And the Sand King rotated to the safe lane at a certain point because he didn't want to lane against the hero that he was laning against. It was like a Zeus or some counter. So what he did is he just jungled in the area near his carry Sven, and then somebody walked up, and he walks over from the jungle, burrows them, Sven stuns, and they die. And this core, it was like Eternal Envy or something on the enemy team. It's just like, what the fuck? I'm just getting ganked by an offlane Sand King. He goes and jungles again, jungles in the area, still getting farmed. Sven is still farming. And then they kill him again.
Yeah.
And then he has to walk somewhere. And the game is over at that point. And I was watching that, and I was thinking, like, man, they're going to win. Like, from just that, I actually think they're going to win. Because that is something that Team Secret does. That is what Zai does.
Yeah,
he will rotate to a lane, just jungle in the area, and then if there are 2 cores in a lane, people don't expect that. And usually your cores are farmed. They have boots. They have levels. So you can set up ganks a lot easier than the supports. Honestly, fuck roles. Fuck lanes.
Yep.
Just go wherever is best for you.
I
think
agree.
about Dota in that way, and you will win a lot more. Like, if you can literally think of the laning stage like that, and you're 3K, and you actually think about the laning stage like that and make good decisions, I guarantee you within 6 months you'll be 5K.
Yeah, and I would second that. And just the fact, like, there's all this big deal made about how important the lanes are, and people are always like, oh, we can't have this Slark free farm, we can't have this Juggernaut free farming. I will guarantee you that 0% of games are decided in the laning stage at 3K. Not one game is decided in the lane. Actually, that's not true. Sorry. Games are decided in the laning stage because people continue to go back to bad lanes over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
You're saying they don't have to be determined by the
Yes, they don't have to be determined.
Agreed. Bradley Dragon, do you believe Willow Eggs is the most broken eggs? Well, I believe that question has been answered with the nerfs
hot fix
that have ensued since then.
I still think that I think DP eggs is still probably the best eggs that was added in the patch.
DP Ember is really good. Brood is really good.
Grimstroke is situationally insane.
Grimstrokes is definitely good too. I think they nerfed that a little bit, but yeah it's still kind of nuts. I mean, actually, they nerfed it a lot.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking about Drow a lot in chat. I think Drow's a dog hero. I think that hero's not good anymore. Like, she needed... The fact that she farmed the Ancients and got so exceedingly farmed while doing everything else that she did was the reason that she was so strong.
I think she's a fine hero. I don't think that
I think she's a regular
anymore.
hero.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think she's okay. Like, yeah, she has that, the range creeps in lanes are going to hit really fast and shit, which is pretty annoying. The 50% cooldown reduction talent's still literally the best talent in Dota.
Yeah.
But if she doesn't have farm...
She doesn't just have she doesn't have the ability to recover from any game, basically, which is what she had before. Is like the first 10 minutes of the game did not matter when you had a Drow on your team, because
I have to I can't stress enough, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, how important it is that she could just farm triangle, and that's such a hard area to penetrate.
Yeah.
And the fact that if you didn't stop her early, she would just snowball on you. Removing that is removing the reason that she was so broken in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that Drow is crazy in the late game. It's that you are forced to do these ridiculous plays to stop her from going into the late game, and you had to walk into the triangle, which is just impossible. And now Medusa still does that. I still think Medusa's broken because, you walk up into the triangle against Medusa, she presses R, you're fighting into a high ground and a shrine, you get fucking dead. Yeah, I still think Medusa's broken. People are picking it a lot because it's like, oh, this is one of the only triangle farming super fast.
Medusa hasn't changed at all, basically. Like, they keep nerfing her Monosteel talent, which is like, it doesn't matter. It's not why she's that strong. She's strong because of the triangle. I am shocked they didn't change the triangle at all.
I am as well. This patch feels like exactly the same patch with Ags and without Drow.
And a bit slower in general, because the towers got buffed a lot. Harder to push objectives.
Should make a video about that, actually, why the game is slowed down. Okay. Let's see. Did you know if you're holding Alt and you have your camera in showcase mode, you see all the spawn boxes on the map all at once? Like, they didn't program it so that it only shows the ones on your screen. It literally highlights all of them, and it shows the little animations for stack timings.
That's really annoying.
Yeah, dude. That's using your CPU when it's not on the screen. Like, there are computations being made for totally unreasonable purposes. There's no point.
Spaghetti code.
Yeah, fucking Valve programming, man. Okay, the Zuck says, a few question for Q&A. Is Drow still worth picking?
Already answered that.
No. I think
if you're good at Drow, yes.
But you want to win MMR, there's better heroes, dog. There's better heroes. Is Riki a good hero now? No.
I don't think so.
He's okay. He's okay.
He's fine if you can get through the laning stage without losing your team the game.
My problem with Riki is that he has no way of farming jungle.
Yep.
He has no way of flash farming. You literally need to sit and hit creeps, and you're not effective at ganking until you have a diffusal blade. So there's this 2,000 something gold window where you need to just be sitting in a lane hitting creeps. And
as a hero, that's entire purpose is to not be showing.
Correct. So, and if you're a carry or an offlaner and you get ganked while doing that, that's big problems for your team.
Yep.
Because you're supposed to be carrying them. You don't want to... That's the thing. It's like these Svens and Terrorblades and stuff, they lane and then they're gone. And they show up 20 minutes later with 6 items. You're like, what the fuck? We should have ganked that guy. Riki doesn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem with Riki, in my opinion, is that he's so dependent on the diffusal blade timing and yet can't get to it easily.
Yeah, he's really weird. It's like there's really no other item that allows him to function as a hero. Other than Atos,
I was gonna say people have experimented with Atos, but then it's like you do no damage whatsoever. So
right, he's so reliant on right clicks to do damage, and those right clicks are not strong normally. They're only strong with items, and those items have to also allow him to slow people. So it's like rush a Scotty on the hero. I don't know, man.
No, it's like then you're waiting for 6,000 gold.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same problem. How soon should you build new Ags on DP? I see people going for 1 or 2 2,000 gold items and then eggs. So they'll go like Yule's
It's
hood.
like treads, Yule's, something like
that. Yeah, boots is like a given. Like you always go some sort of boots stick, null talisman, and then one extra item, then eggs, or 2 maybe if you feel like you need another item, like there's a lot of magic damage, get a hood, and then eggs.
Do you think that there's any credence to buying a locket on DP? What's the healing amp on locket? Is like 25%?
Maybe. I mean, if there's any hero, it could be her. It gives magic resist, so
yeah,
that'd be pretty good. I'm always so concerned with that item that the mana that you get from it is just worthless. Like the total mana increase. I really think that if they left that as just an item that gave you mana regen, it gave you like 5 mana regen before, and I think Yule's gives 6.
Yeah,
something like that. It gave almost as much mana regen as Yule's, and a big reason a lot of people pick up Yule's on Storm is because it's one of the most effective. It's the most effective, cost-effective mana regen items.
Right. It doesn't really seem to do the right combination of things. It's sort of like an item that does a little bit of a couple things, but not like good enough synergy between the things that it does to be a good item.
200 health is good. 4 health regen is pretty good.
Magic resistance is fine.
Magic resistance is great. Mana completely worthless on 90% of heroes. And then the heal amplification is pretty good.
Good on Chen with Chen aura.
The thing is, like, I feel like if you're gonna buy Holy Locket, why don't you not just have a pipe or a Greaves?
Fair enough.
Like those items just will literally give you more healing throughout the game.
It's also like, why not just buy Greaves on DP instead of the Locket?
Yeah, people do that. Yeah. People do that on DP. That would be fine, especially against some silencer or something like that. Yeah, Locket's in a weird place, honestly.
Yeah,
not a huge fan. But in any case, you know the video I made about like the shittiest items in Dota. Did I ever link you that some like Russian like esports news guy copied the video like verbatim as a news post, and I messaged him on Twitter about it, and I was like, "Hey, dude, this was for like a legit site." I said, "Hey, dude, if you're gonna steal a video, can you at least steal something that's better? Like, this is not a good video that I made." And he said, "I'm sorry that you think I've stolen from you. I have not even seen your channel until now. I am trying to write daily esports articles for Dota 2 since I had no topic of the current day." So he writes all of the exact same points that I do, and in the exact order too. Like, he even took something as specific as, I said that Octarine Core is a bad item because ever since TI8, OG winning, people have been thinking of taking one big fight instead of fighting persistently. He literally took that point, which is so specific. So fucking specific. Like, who else would make... I was reaching for that point, dog. Like, that's what I'm saying. Pick a better video. I was trying to think of something to say about Octarine Core. It's like, why is this item bad? He even took the shit that I was making up. And
that's funny.
I was just like, yeah, man, great. Great minds think alike. It's crazy how we have the exact same ideas. And then I sent him a picture of Milan saying goodbye. And then he sent me a smiley. Why would you steal? Why would you steal like that? What? Steal from Game Elite.
Just give us credit, dude. Yeah, I had to DMCA this Spanish channel that was taking our videos, taking the actual video, and then just dubbing their voice over it.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like our videos aren't that good that you need to steal them. Like, I don't know. You can just make your own videos.
Hey,
your own Dota videos, dude. People are hungry for Dota content, man. You don't need to
start your own channel. It's not that hard.
It really isn't.
Talk into a camera and put it on YouTube.
Yeah. And then people are like, "Oh, I like this game. I'm going to watch this thing about the game that I like because the thumbnail is clickable." All right. Moving on. The Zuck says, "What about safe lane Riki?" Well, we kind of talked about that. The problem is how you need to farm the Diffusal Blade, or you're useless. Anyone here do low tier coaching? Hey man, I'll coach you if you need some coaching.
Either one of us will coach you. All you have to do is just message us on Discord.
Yeah, just pop us an old message there, and you can get some coaching. Have you had people ask you for free coaching?
Not in a while.
It's been a while for me too, but when we first started, people were like, "Are you going to do free coaching to give back to your community?" It's just like, dog, how many hours in the day do you think I have? Like, do you know how many people? Dude, okay. I think I talked about this before, but I did the calculation. If we were to coach everybody that were subscribed to us at the point where that person asked, which we had like 30,000 subs, it would be like 127 years straight of coaching. And it's like, that is totally fucking unreasonable. I'm not going to be a century old and be coaching people. It's like, I would love to, man, but I got to do dishes and get groceries and shit, man, you know?
Talk to my family. Pet my dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's like life things. We have talked about this before, the fact that like if you were to keep in contact with everybody that you've ever known in terms of your friends, you would have no time in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway. Loeval says, "Hi, we are a team ranked Guardian to Legend, playing mainly as a group of 4 to 5. How many heroes do my team need in their pool to reasonably play Captain's Mode? How many heroes would you suggest each player in each position should have? What should be the ratio of solo and party games to improve?" That's a solid question. That's a good question.
I'll let you handle that since you played on a lot more teams than I have.
Sure. I would say you really only need like 4 to 5 heroes max. Newsham said something interesting to me the other day. I hate to always quote him, but he's just like a beacon of good information. He said something along the lines of like 2 to 3 heroes, as long as the heroes play in different play styles. Like, it's not great to just have, let's say, as an offlaner, be able to only play heroes that are like initiators. You want to be able to play like a lane dominator. You want to be able to play, a walks in and just tank shit hero like Abyssal Underlord. You want to be able to play initiators. Like, you want to have a couple of heroes from each different archetype in the role that you can play, so that way you can formulate your strategies around those heroes, and then within those categories having like 1 to 2 heroes that you play. So for instance, for me, in terms of like lane dominating heroes, I play Enchantress and Broodmother. That was sufficient for a while. Now Broodmother's a mid hero, so I probably need another lane dominator. I play a couple of them. But
would you consider Batrider a lane dominator?
Yeah, Bat's a lane dominator. He's like a lane dominator initiator. So right. he's like a
and that's a good point, because sometimes heroes can be hybrids, right? So like if you play these really hybrid heroes, you don't need quite as many heroes in your pool.
Right, but if you pick like a Zeus offlane, for example, that's a good niche hero. But there's not going to be that many situations in which you can draft a Zeus just because he always does the same thing.
Right.
It's like damage and dewarding. That's what he does. So you would have to want that for a specific purpose in a draft, or draft all of your other heroes around that fact that Zeus only does that. So that's when you're considering your hero pool, that's just what you need to consider. Like, okay, how flexible is this hero? If you have an offlaner that can only play Doom and Bat, honestly, you're fine. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because those heroes do so much that if they know how to play those heroes in each scenario, like Bat, he can control the dangerous areas of the map with travels. He can initiate. He can snowball. He can lane dominate. Doom can lane dominate. He can frontline tank. He can initiate. He can gank. He can also control a lane. Like, just consider what the heroes do, but like 2 to 5 heroes. In what ratio of solo in party games to improve? I would say if you guys legitimately want to try to play in like amateur tournaments and play in open qualifiers and stuff like that and have a legit chance, you should be focusing on your individual aspects of Dota that you're learning. Like, you should be playing almost exclusively solo queue and doing like Battle Cup every week. Maybe like 1 to 2 games of party a day. Less than that, actually. 1 to 2 games of party like every.
You're never really going to get good competition party.
You're never gonna get good competition, and then also, Guardian to Legend. You guys, it doesn't take that much time if you're grinding to get between the medals. Like there are these epiphanies that you're going to have, and the thing is, party queue is just not sufficient for having those epiphanies and seeing the reflection of your improvement.
You're going to get buoyed up by people that are better than you on your team. Like on a team, you really want everybody to be around the same skill. And so that's kind of important to have.
Yeah.
You know, a good baseline where it's not like every game is either being lost by one person or won by another person.
Anytime I read something like this, it's like my initial thought is that I want to tell you that, like, my initial thought is like, okay, well, you're not trying to go pro or something like that. So I want to be able to tell you that, you know, you can just party queue and play on your team and do okay or whatever against whatever you're playing in, Reddit, Dota 2 League, whatever it is you're playing in. But when I read this, I legitimately think, like, I don't see it as something that's unobtainable for all of you to get Divine or Immortal. Like that's why I'm saying it as like I think you should solo queue, because I don't think it's as unreasonable as people make it seem, where it's like, oh, not everybody's pro players. No, fuck that. It doesn't take that much. You just need to grind. Like you just need to really think about what it is that you need to change about the game. Like you are doing shit wrong if you're playing Guardian and Legend. You are bad at Dota. But It's not you're bad at Dota because of 100 different things. It's like 5 to 6 things. Legit. It's not that many things. You just need to find out what they are. And yeah, that takes time, but it will immediately click when you're like, oh my fucking God, I haven't been doing this, or I saw somebody do this. And just pulling the lane, for example, you know, like pulling the offlane creeps, like that alone is like a 500 MMR thing if you're not doing that. Like there are all of these little tricks that every single game high rated players are doing, and that's why they're good. I used to have this opinion where I would see, you know, like Monkeys Forever or something like that, and he's this offlaner. He's like a better offlane player than me, but not by like a huge margin in terms of mechanical skill. And he would try so hard in pubs, and I would always be like, you know, I would have this excuse of like, oh, he's just trying really hard. You know, he's such a tryhard. But it's like, that is what makes him good, is the fact that like he would always lane swap to get perfect lanes. He would try to get his team to pick around his hero. He would pick to counter pick. And it's like, if you see somebody that's high rated doing something, whether they know it or not, that's why they're high rated. You know what I mean? If they're doing something that's bullshit, it is that is all that it takes, is just like, oh, instead of allowing myself to get countered, I'm going to counter pick.
Yeah.
500 MMR right fucking there. Literally, that's all you need. I kid you not. Just that. Like, and it's always excuses from people. I always hear these excuses. Oh, my team this, my team that. No, fuck that. Like, literally,
Big
one
responsibility.
thing. Yes. Okay, I'm getting counterpicked all the time. My lanes are bad. Why are your lanes bad? There's a reason for it. It's not fucking magic. It's not magic. You're not counterpicking. You're playing a lane that you literally can't play. Like, there is no magic in Zai playing against Universe or something like that. They both just know things about the game, and they're making these very simple decisions about Dota. They're not being lazy. They're not being lazy. That's the thing. Like, mentally, they're thinking like, okay, this is bad for me. Like, what do I do to get out of this?
Yeah.
Oh, like, that's an interesting solution. I'm going to do that in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, even just before this, I was complaining about Jenkins about this. I was complaining to Jenkins about this game that I just played, where my team was actually doing everything wrong. Every single thing that was happening was wrong. But I was also doing the wrong thing and continuing to play into a lane that I shouldn't have been in. I should have just left the lane, and instead of getting pissed at my support for being an awful support, I should have said, hey, get the farm. I'll go jungle. And just making that one change would have won me the game.
Yeah. Literally, like, it's literally one change. I remember, you know, when I coached you a week ago, you blocking that ruined your lane. Like, that's literally it. I don't need to see anything else.
And it came back to be the bristleback that ended up winning them the game, basically, who had a good lane because of that.
You literally lost your lane from one bad decision. That's it.
Yep.
People always like so overcomplicate it. That's something that I've heard a lot of very good pro players constantly talk about, is that people tend to like glamorize and overcomplicate Dota.
Yes.
When really it's just as simple as like, I don't want to be in this lane, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally as simple as that. And just, you know, where the knowledge comes in is like knowing where to go after that. But the first step is being like, yeah, this sucks. I'm not going to just have my, you know, I'm not going to get like pegged in the butthole for the next 10 minutes straight and then just lose the game.
I mean, dude, like, with True Sight coming out, all the chatter in OG's booth, how much of it was complicated? It was literally Jerix is like, "Hey Ana, like relocate top for the memes." Like that was a call that he made, and they did it, and it won them the game by taking the racks. Like it's not a complicated call to make. It's not some super like technical thing. It was literally just
in 15.2 seconds, I'm going to relocate top because they have somebody pushing bot, and I think I saw somebody TP here because I heard it. It's like there's none of that's happening. None of that's happening. It's literally like, yo, let's relo top. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So Ganksy says, for Q&A, I'm playing position 4, and my position 3 decided to cut the wave since we were losing the lane. I didn't really know what to do in that situation. In this situation, you are Zeus, and your SK was cutting the lane. I love that lane, Zeus SK. The awkward thing about Zeus is that he's not really a great ganker. So what you can do when your SK is cutting the lane is you can side pull and just farm up the neutral camp. Like that hero just wants to get farm, whether or not, whatever role you're in as a Zeus, you honestly want to get farm. You can like walk around and D-ward, you can secure runes, you can gank, you can help your SK cut the wave if you think that it's dangerous and there's a support that's going to contest him. But basically you want to look for something to do that's not just sitting in the lane doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You can even deny under tower. Like if you can look to deny whoever it is, who's trying to farm under the tower. That's fine as well. The worst thing that you can do is just like walk around sitting in trees doing nothing.
Yep.
Because you're literally getting no XP if he's cutting on Sand King. So that's about it though. That is a more awkward one because it's like you go into a tri lane as Zeus and it's just useless. So
you could like walk to the mid lane, bolt the mid laner 4 times, and walk back to the bottom lane around a bounding ring or something like that.
Yeah, literally something as simple as that. Honestly, you probably just like with most other heroes, let's say you have an Earth Spirit, you would rotate to the tri lane and probably kill the offlaner, something like that, because you no longer need a bot or whatever lane the Sand King is in. With Zeus, it's a little awkward because he's not strong at ganking at all, but you probably still want to do it. It's better than doing nothing. Yep. Like you probably, like Donnie said, just go bolt somebody, go D-ward, go stack, like double stack. Just do something else that's like effective with your time. And like if you stack, then eventually you can take the off lane and say like, hey SK, go farm jungle, I stack for you. Yep. And then you're just like, ooh, free farm in the off lane for me,
Yeah.
Really, it's like a greedy thing that you're doing. It's like eventually it's going to pay off, and it's like, oh, somebody's got to take this lane now. Oh, I guess it'll be me. That's good stuff. That's good stuff for you. But worst thing you can do is, I just played a game with Ellie where I was Batrider, and she was we queued into each other in solo queue. I was on my Smurf, and I was Batrider, and she was Rubik, and her biggest criticism of like herself after the game was like, I had no idea what to do after you were pulling bot, because what I was just doing is I was just circling the waves around and killing all of them with napalm in Firefly, which is like what Bat does. So I was the most farmed in the game, but it's like I no longer needed my support, and she had no impact in the game as a Rubik because she had no farm, because she was just kind of like walking between mid and bot, not really knowing what to do. And then she looked at the game after and she's like, I should have gone in tri lane. I should have like ganked, the other lane. Like when your offlaner's cutting, they don't need you there.
Right.
Okay. Koa Danny says, how do you win as a 5 role that can't push waves when your cores insist on jungling after winning a fight? I don't have any specific situations in mind, but I'm 1.8k. I find most people in that bracket don't push lanes enough. Yeah, I would say you can just pick better heroes for doing that then. Like, Coddle is a pretty good hero right now, but it's a very specific hero. You mentioned that in your question. Excuse me, Winter Wyvern is one of the best heroes at doing that. You can get really farmed by doing that and put a lot of pressure on the map, which is great. But also, just get a Meteor Hammer. I don't care what it takes to do it. Somebody needs to push the lanes, and if that has to be you, just do it. Pull waves to jungle camps. Like, do something.
I also think that you're
kill the range creep.
Exactly. That was what I was going to say. I think you're overrating what it takes to actually get a wave going in the opposite direction. And it's as simple as killing the range creep quickly. So if you're in a Baden, for example, that hero does not have very good wave clear. But what you can do is you can walk up, you can aphotic shield one of your creeps, and then you can mist coil the range creep, hit it once, and then walk out of the lane and go do something else. That wave is going to push towards the other side of the map. and that will cause the next wave to push towards that side of the map, and the wave following that until somebody else comes and reverts the pressure that you've created, or it hits the tower and then bounces back as a result. That's the thing about lanes and creep waves in Dota, is it doesn't take a lot of effort to get the waves pushing in the opposite way. It takes almost no effort and no time. That's why it's so frustrating when people don't do it, because all you have to do is literally do enough damage to a creep wave where your creeps now have more health than theirs do, and it will push. And the next wave will push, and the next wave will push, and the next wave will push. Boom. You've created pressure.
I think it's important to note, I guess, for anybody that isn't aware of this, ranged creeps do piercing damage. Why? Don't ask me. I don't know. Ice frog things. And piercing damage means that to other creeps, they do significantly more damage. They also attack fast. So ranged creeps do so much more damage than melee creeps. I think, like, if you were to take a creep wave that had one melee, one ranged creep versus 4 melee creeps.
No, that's a little bit too extreme.
That's a little bit too much. That's a little bit. But 4 melee creeps versus, let's say, two
melees and one range.
Two melees and one range. The 2 melees and one range will win.
Yeah.
That's not because I'm thinking with the HP that you'd have to work with, like to go through 4 melee creeps. That's a little much. Really, the thing with the melee creeps is, like, they're tanky. They're like the tanky frontliner. The range creeps are the damage dealer.
Yep.
So that's just how you have to view it. Range creeps are nuts. You actually died to the range creep when you morphed to Agi, says Robbie France. Dude, I've seen immortal morphling players do that, so I wouldn't feel too bad about it.
They're mini snipers. You got to be careful.
They really are, dude. Those things are tough. Eddie Mercury says from last week, are there any times when pulling the second wave isn't optional or necessary?
Optimal or I'm pretty sure we did answer this.
I think we did. Okay, so there are a few things that you can do, and you basically just want to do one of them. Like you mentioned here, you can fissure block your wave, or you can fissure block their wave. Also, if you're really strong and you know that the enemy team is hiding in their tower, you can actually body block their wave and then have one of your heroes fuck with the enemy if they try to body block your wave. And if you body block their wave, then your creeps will run into their tower and it'll push out anyway. Like, all you want to do is get the lane to push out, to be right in front of your tower if you're able to apply pressure. But generally, like, if you are in a situation where you can't apply pressure yet, then you're not going to be able to body block their wave because they'll fucking kill you. Yeah. So that's when you would pull the second wave. So basically, like, your question is kind of like hinting at the answer already, where it's like you just want to do something. You want to make sure that you're doing something. Otherwise, you need to know that you can pressure them on that first wave if you're doing nothing. And I would say in most cases, you can't pressure them on the first wave because it's so close to their tower.
Yep.
That you need to be, like, let's say you have a Necrophos. Rest in pepperoni side hero, but let's say you have a old Necrophos. You can, like, Death Pulse in the first wave and tank the creeps. And what that'll do is it'll push your wave into their tower, and then that'll push into you. So that's fine as well. Like, you just need to make sure that you're doing something to get the equilibrium in front of your tower, and cutting the second wave is just the easiest way to do that without contest. Nobody's going to stop you from doing that.
Right.
So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. It's a pretty straightforward question.
Soul says, how do you think the XP changes and armor changes will change up the meta? Did they change armor?
I don't think so.
I have to go look at the...
They changed the armor on, like, the towers and gave them...
Oh, on towers. Oh, Roshan base armor increased. Oh, I guess they gave base armor to some heroes and reduced Mars's by 1. That hero's still broken. Goddamn.
He got picked a lot at Birmingham.
Gross hero. It's not even Dota. I think changes like experience and armor and very simple things like that tend to be what impacts the meta more than anything else, other than, like, very obvious broken changes. Like, if somebody gets an Ags that's really good, like DP, that's obviously, you know, going to impact things. But yeah, I would say the XP changes makes it so that getting kills early, I mean, obviously is way less effective. Because one of the big problems with giving a kill away is that you would go into a lane that somebody's like level 2 or level 3 when you're level 1 and you're fucked. Totally fucked. But now that's not really a thing. Like, you can feed away your life if you're securing a creep wave, for example. Let's say, you died behind the tier 1, you double pull 2 waves, and what that does is that's going to send in a double wave to your offlaner and your support, and you die for that. Who cares? As long as what you're securing is more important than the gold and the experience that you're giving. And now that the experience changes have basically changed to not have a base plus 50, it basically means that, like, you're not giving away that many early levels.
Yeah, also comeback mechanics are going to be relatively big. They massively buffed comeback mechanics as far as killing, like, kill streak heroes.
True. Yeah.
If you're killing, you should. If you see somebody who's on a kill streak, you should absolutely smoke and try and kill them, because it's really, really good.
Yeah, that's man. Maybe we should make a video that's just like detailing plays that are now good to make with these changes.
Sure.
Maybe I'll do that tonight. That'll be my next video. Good job, Souls. Thanks for the video idea. One sec, let me write that down. I'll read the next question. You can answer it while I write this.
Sure.
Vasily says, I feel roles transcend hero choices to some degree. Is that true? If I theoretically pick Huskar, then I have to play as 3. Is it cool to just build aura items and get tanky and ignore my damage output and try to use my skills to fill the role as best I can? All right, Donnie.
Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree that if you see a job that is absolutely necessary to be done for you to win the game, it does not matter what hero you're playing. There are items to allow you to do that job. And so you should do that. I don't think that you should try to do that every game. I think that there are heroes that fill specific roles for a reason, because they do a job better than other heroes do. But like I said, if there's a situation where you just don't have catch and you're playing a hero without catch, then maybe you just need to buy and build a bunch of catch. Maybe you need to go like Atos, Hex, Blink on a hero that normally doesn't do that. And that'll help you win the game. It's all about
I gotta say, man, you're obsessed with Hex. I don't know what it is with Hex and you. Do you think that it's people are saying sex? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is it just like a this repressed sexual thing where you're hearing a different word every time? You're fucking obsessed with this item, man. I'm sorry. That's my only input there.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it stand for hot sex? HEX.
Yeah, I think so. I think
that's why I want you guys to build it. I want everybody to have hot sex.
Yeah. With you.
Whoever, man.
Oh. Okay.
As long as it's happening.
What about my dad?
Sure.
You would have sex with my dad?
No.
Oh,
but he should have hot sex.
Nice.
What?
I mean.
Life.
I don't know. I think he's a pretty attractive guy. I'm kind of offended. Justin Ash says, question, how the new patch affects for the support role, because for me, wards is valuable assets because of the gold we get from D-ward, so that warding is crucial. Which heroes should we play as a support based off the patch notes? Zeus. I love Zeus right now, dude. I am getting free Aghanim Scepters for pressing my Lightning Bolt ability with a 3-mana regen talent. I love this, man. I love this hero.
Yeah. I think you can pick Zeus every game and have a good game, basically.
I think so too. I think Zeus is the impact that it has is actually unreal. It's crazy, dude. I'm getting like 200 gold per D ward on Zeus.
Yeah.
And with the 3-mana regen talent,
like 90 mana.
You have a 3-mana regen talent too.
Yeah,
you just walk around
mana, basically.
and D-ward everything with the clarity going, and it's too good, man. It's too good. All right. Yeah, there you go, Zeus. I would just say also, just make sure you're punishing people for placing shitty wards.
Yeah.
Like that, it's crazy to me that cores don't buy sentries. Like, it makes no sense. You literally get more from it than what it costs.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Sentries are 75 gold now. Like,
the amount of times that I've seen somebody ward and somebody pings it and nobody dewards it because nobody wants to do it. It's like, you're literally gaining gold. It's like, hey, do you want, an ice cream sundae? It's like, yeah, give me that. Hey, you want, a pile of shit? Everybody in pubs is like, oh, give me that shit. Give me that shit. It's like, no, dude, take the sundae, man. What are you doing? It's right there. Come on. But it's because people are still in the past. Like, mentally,
no, that's a support thing. I would never do a support thing ever. Yeah.
Even supports are like, no, I got to get my ags. It's like, you literally will get it faster if you deward. Yeah. You literally lose nothing for fucking dewarding if you see a ward. And people still don't deward. The amount of times people are like, ping, oh, there's a ward there, and it just despawns.
The courier just sits in the base. Nobody's using it. Nobody's buying sentries. No, I gotta farm the small camp. I need my item. I can't deward. Hey, other support, can you deward for me?
It costs money to buy sentries, Donnie. Okay? Why would I do something that costs me money? It's like people in Dota don't have an idea of
you gotta invest money to make money, right?
Yeah, you invest money to make money. It's like crypto in 2017. You put money in, a week later, it's double.
Yep.
That's what sentry wards are. Sentry wards are crypto in 2017.
Yep.
Bitcoin for anybody that doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Enigma's Flame says, in response to, should I play Centaur like a tank? Enigma's Flame says, this isn't WoW. There's never been a tank role in Dota, and it still isn't after 21 years of existence. I kind of disagree with that, actually. Like, I think there's a lot of tank heroes in Dota. It's just, like, that used to be a bad idea before people were good at Dota and the competitive scene. But now, like, you have these tanky heroes that position themselves on the perimeter of a zone in the most dangerous area. And it's like, if you want to get to their team, you have to run through them, but they're tanky and they have spells and they're going to cast the spells on you. So you kind of have to go on them and they're the only person showing. It's like, you are tanking. It's just not like WoW where you're literally taunting people like with axe.
Right.
And, tanking damage. It's a smarter way of tanking. It's like a
Tidehunter's a tank, Pudge is a tank, Doom is a tank,
Timbersaw,
yeah,
Underlord, basically offlaners.
Yeah,
strong offlaners after 7.22. Okay, I have been thinking about this one a lot because I'm trying to win MMR and not lose it. So I'm trying to figure out what is still good, and I still think Bat is really good. You just have to max your Firefly. I think that Legion Commander is garbage, and if you're picking Legion, you're going to lose a lot. And I see a lot of people trying out these like shitty heroes, and they're not good. I think Mars is broken still, like probably first or second best hero in Dota. Io's the only other hero that's like busted. Let's see. There's another hero that I think Nature's Prophet is still pretty good. I think that hero is not nerfed enough. There's one other hero that's like a huge... Oh, Sand King. Sand King is the best offlaner in Dota. Have you said
Sand King yet? Because that's all you've been playing.
Sand King is the best offlaner in Dota. Period. If you can get a Sand King, you should get a Sand King if it's not banned. Like, Sand King is without a doubt the best offlaner in Dota. I see Slardar getting picked up a lot too. People are playing a lot of Slardar. Definitely good. I'm not sure how to feel about it though. I know Sand King is S tier. I know that Nature's is still at least A tier. I know, like, all the heroes that I listed, I know they're still A tier. Slardar could be S tier. I'm not 100% sure. The verdict is still out on that. Doom is not that great anymore. He's like B tier. Beastmaster, verdict is still out. I think he's probably B tier. Mars is definitely S tier despite the nerfs. But the ones that I'm
offlane.
Not a fan. If it's like C tier, B tier at best, I would say. I really think it's like undisputable Sand King and Mars though. Those are like the best, hands down. Oh, Pangolier is S tier. I'm 100% sure Pangolier is S tier. Everybody's picking that shit right now. The armor reduction is really good. The new Q, just how consistent it is with the passive, is really good. Like, you're going to disarm somebody, so it's better than before because it's not like, oh, I'm going to try to silence the puck. It's like, you're not going to go for a puck anymore with that ability because you're going to go for the Terrorblade and disarm them.
Right.
You know, it's like before, it's like, okay, there's a Terrorblade and there's a puck. Do I try to silence the puck or do I try to disarm the Terrorblade? Oh, I accidentally silenced the Terrorblade. That sucks. He doesn't care. Oh, I accidentally disarmed the puck. That sucks. She doesn't care. Or he. But now it's like, it's more consistent, which is really nice, actually. And then the fact that it also has minus armor is really good. And then the Ags is busted with a Basher, the Pangolier Ags. It's really ridiculous.
Yep.
You're not an offlaner, so the question doesn't pertain to you.
Nope, I don't play offlane anymore.
Is IO Ags the best possible Ags if you get it on him? As a rush, it seems pretty good. Hits invisible units. Nusham said that IO Ags is awful, and he's an IO player. So I'm going to trust his judgment on that. He says that like the balls just reveal you.
Yeah, the reason that he said it is because it reveals you. I will say, though, that having a free 500 damage is...
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like if you're an IO and you're just going for damage, it's like...
Yeah.
Maybe you should be a damage dealing support instead of picking IO.
Did you see, though, that you get the 5 balls around you, you drop the Ags, then you pick it back up, and it's like a free 500 damage nuke. Like, no, 0 mana expended. It's pretty funny.
That's kind of ridiculous. But still,
yeah,
I feel like you're
dropping
probably not
your Ags in the middle of a fight.
Right. If you're like running around dropping Ags on IO, you're probably like, go play Lina or something, dude.
Yep.
You know, like...
Agreed.
Jorge Garcia says, I'm going Soul Ring into Ags every game on Brood to a decent win rate. Thoughts? I don't like that. I think that's... The Aghanim Scepter doesn't help you with your farming speed that much. It doesn't give you any kill potential. I would say, like, you eventually want the Aghanim Scepter, but what's the point in having the Aghanim Scepter for a timing where you're not even strong enough to run to the other lanes? Like, the Ags lets you move to different positions on the map and, you know, control, like, a huge area of the map. So if you're no threat to the enemy team, but you're able to walk there physically, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's like having some like scrawny ass nerd like being a bouncer at like a bar where like, you know, some biker gangs like hang out there and are creating like a ruckus. Like the scrawny ass little guy is not going to do anything, but you know, you give him a gun. I don't know where I'm going with this analogy, but basically what I'm saying is it's fucking worthless until you are actually worth something as a hero. So what I've been doing is I've been going at like second, third item. I'll go for like, you know, boots, diffusal blade, maybe BKB, maybe radiant, some shit like that, and then Ags.
You want the ability to threaten and fight before you have infinite threaten and fighting potential, basically. Like it's like rushing Boots of Travel on a hero that wants to fight or something like that, just so you can show up to fights but not being strong enough to fight.
Yeah, exactly. I think Ags is amazing though. Like I think you should get Ags. It's just I really like Diffusal Ags because Diffusal is the most cost-efficient damage item for Agi heroes in the game of Dota. So you get that item, and it's so cost-efficient that, sure, you're building into an Aghanim Scepter, which gives you very little damage, but you built this cost-efficient damage item that you don't... And then after that, I was kind of thinking, like, okay, since you have used so much gold for an item that doesn't really give you damage, but it gives you tankiness, maybe the next item you go for is just like a super hyper damage item, like Daedalus, you know, like a Radiance, something like that. That's kind of the way I see Brood now, is like you build these ludicrous damage items with an Ags, like Nullifier, you know, Daedalus, and then the Ags like gives you everything else that you need, and you make up for the fact that you're not building into, you know, traditional carry damage items by the fact that, you know, you're buying these like really cost efficient ones.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't build like an Orchid because it's not super cost efficient in terms of the damage it provides. I wouldn't buy like a Scotty with the Ags build. Actually, maybe for the chasing potential, but I would only look to buy the things that are like crazy fucking damage items. You know, no like, let's see, I don't know, drums. Even like Sanjin Yasha, if it didn't give movement speed, I'd be super questioning it, just because it seems more of the same. I would just go for like heavy damage because Ags makes you a beast. Ag makes you insane. All right. Bradley Dragon says, "Is Chen Ags worth getting? I feel the Ancients aren't worth taking because they're so damn slow." People go Ags on Chen. I see that as like a late game thing. The dragons can push out waves. The purple little creeps can give you lifesteal. It's pretty nice, and HP regen, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, the way I would say is that Ags is situational in every single hero now because you can get it very, very late game and consume it. It doesn't take up a slot.
Yeah, Ags is never a bad item now. It's like the new Moon Shard. Honestly, rest in Pepperoni's Moon Shard because Ags is way better.
Yep.
How do you feel about the Radiant map changes? I know it was made to make the lane somehow equal to the Dire side, but I honestly feel like it's easier to move when playing as a support on the Radiant side. I don't know. I feel like Radiant's pretty fucking hard. But the funny thing is, like, I feel like Radiant safe lane is hard as an offlaner. Like, they nerfed for some reason pulling as a dire offlaner.
Yeah,
I don't get.
They tried to nerf the ability for Radiant to pull that hard camp, but they actually nerfed Dire's ability to pull the hard camp.
Yes, it's really hard. It's really hard to pull that now.
Yep.
Like you can't. It's really difficult to pull it up. The timing is super precise, and you have to have the creeps hit you. It's actually pretty fucking annoying, to be honest.
I agree. I noticed that as well. I was like, oh my god, they did it again.
The safe lane just pulls the easy camp.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here trying to pull. I swear to God, dude, yesterday I tried to pull like 3 times in a row and I failed every time. And this guy was like, people just laugh at me because it's like, man, this guy's supposed to be like pretty okay at Dota.
Yep.
And I'm just fucking up a pull. It's hard, man.
Yeah, it
got
way
I think they need to like they need to rework that. All right, there's 3 more. We'll just do these 3 and then we'll call it.
Yep.
Because it's been 70 minutes, so we'll end the episode here. Creel Monfregan, Jesus. Question: how do you feel about? Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. We have 2 questions left. That was the same question.
Get it together, dude.
That was Creel Monfregan, by the way, that asked the last question. TDM says, question, is it possible to win a 4v5 game when your teammate abandons mid-game and the enemy arrowheader, or is it a waste of time? Yes, I would say yes. You can actually win that game because you get your teammates gold if they like disconnect from the game and get the abandon.
Yeah, it's almost easier sometimes.
Sometimes it's easier depending on your heroes.
Yep.
So, yeah, I would definitely keep playing to the point where you know that you're gonna lose, and then you can just go next. That's fine. But I have won the occasional game like that. So if you're trying to fiend MMR, then you may as well try to win those
every single game. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Question. This is from Reth. Which supports do you think currently have the most impact? Honestly, I've been favoring teamfight supports.
Warlock is fucking incredible. That hero is so good now.
Winter Wyvern as well. I think you can have one like laning support / does something else in the game support, but I really do feel like you need one support that's some like sick team fighter, or you're just fucked in the mid to late game. Like you can have one Shen, but then you don't want your other support to be an IO or something. Then it's like, how do you ever fight?
Yeah.
Because you'll have some, TA mid, you'll have some safe lane Slark, you'll have some off lane Enchantress, and it's like, okay, who actually makes the stuns in the team fights? Like who's putting the enemy team and putting that little swirly thing above their head? Right. Somebody's got to be doing that. And I think that traditionally comes from either the 5 or the off lane or the 4.
Yeah, I'd say
those 3 roles.
Warlock, Wyvern, Shadow Shaman's still really good. Probably I would say Lion is still probably pretty good, but not as like that's more of like a ganking support. And then I think you're always going to be fine picking a hero like Dazzle, Abaddon, a save hero as well.
Yep, it's just that if you pick those heroes, you want to make sure that somebody else on your team has some epic ass team fight ultimate thing, like some black hole or
low MMR. Pick Spirit Breaker, you'll win every game.
Oh, that hero's ridiculous. That's legit one of the best heroes in Dota right now.
Yeah.
I would say Spirit Breaker is like the freest MMR right now. In fact, that could be a video. It's like, hey, just literally pick this cow and get it.
And just press your Q on everybody all the time.
Yes.
And TP back to base, refill, press your Q.
Items.
Yeah. Speaking of which, man, what am I doing picking anything other than Spirit Breaker, Warlock, and Wyvern?
Good question.
I'm so good at those heroes, and I should just play them every game.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. When people complain about being like low MMR, and then you see that they're not picking the broken stuff, and it's just like, if Monkeys Forever is playing on your account and you're making him play support, he's picking those heroes.
Yep.
He's not going to go try to win with like a lion or something. He's going to try to win with something that's like, oh, this hero's fucking broken, you know?
Yeah.
It's those heroes that some good player is going to play on your account and win with.
I mean, dude,
part of the game.
Here's the thing. This is not a knock against Lyrical by any means. But this dude went from 3K to over 5K in 2 months picking nothing but Darkseer. He literally has only played Darkseer for 2 months, and he went from 3K to 5K.
I saw that. I was feeding his stream.
Yeah. So I mean, same thing with Slacks, right? He literally only played Omni Knight for 2 months and went from 3K to 5K. So, find the hero that works for you, that wins you games, and then just don't play anything else but that if you're trying to gain MMR and nothing else.
Yep. All right. That's it for today.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you Thursday for replay review. And we love you guys. So this is where you say, we love you too, Jenkins and Elevated in chat. Waiting for it. Just kidding. See you later.